A very good morning to all the students. Today we are going to start a new chapter, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. First of all, you all have to know that all flowering plants come under the division of angiosperm. Among the 5 important divisions, the angiosperm is the only division which contains flowers. We start this chapter with the basic diagram of our flower. It is the diagram of flower China rose. In botanical, we know it by hibiscus. It is a very common flower. You can see it in your garden, in neighbor, anywhere. Okay, let's start with diagram. In the diagram, you see in the center a long tube-like structure which is swollen at the base, right? It is female reproductive part. And these long tube-like structure which contain a bilobe structure at the top, it is male reproductive part. They both are very important for sexual reproduction. Except these, there are many other parts in the flower which play different roles. So let's start with the parts. When we see a flower, we can see different parts in a flower. Some parts are non-reproductive and some parts are reproductive. In non-reproductive part, we mostly see sepal and petal, yani calyx or corolla. Sepal are small, tiny, greeny in color. It may be in other colors. They play non-important role in the sexual reproduction, but petals, which are the most attractive part of a flower, play important role in reproduction. They help in attracting the birds and insects, which play a role of pollinators. Next are reproductive part. Reproductive parts of our flowers are stamen and pistil. The male reproductive part is known as stamen, which is that, and female reproductive part is known as pistil, which is present mostly in the center of a flower. So let's see a diagram of a flower and try to understand the concept of sexual reproduction in a flower. You can see in the center, the top of a pistil is a broad part which is sticky in nature. Why it is sticky? It is sticky so that the male reproductive part, when release pollen grain, it can easily attach to this part. After this stigma, a long tube-like structure is present which is known as style. From this style, male gamete came to the base, and the basal swollen part is known as ovary. Ovary contain the female gametes. Stigma, style, ovary. We together called it pistil. Remember that stigma, style and ovary is known as pistil, and pistil is female reproductive part which is also known as gynoecium. Pistil is also known as gynoecium. Why? Because it is female reproductive part. Next, stamen. Stamen contain 2 parts. The top bilobe structure is anther, which consists many pollen grains. Anther is attached to the base through a filament, which is long tube-like structure. Anther and filament together is known as stamen. Stamen is a male reproductive part, so it is known as androecium. When pollen grain mature, then the anther is ruptured. The wall of anther ruptured and pollen grain came out with the help of pollinators like air, water, birds, insect. These pollen grain came to the stigma. Stigma being sticky in the nature help the pollen grain to attach the surface. When pollen grain came to the stigma, then they start to divide into two male gametes. One male gamete came under at the ovary portion and fused with the egg. Fusion of egg with male gamete is known as fertilization. During the sexual reproduction in flowering plants, which come under the angiosperm family, we see different types of events, which is the most important to remember. First are pre-fertilization, those events which occur before the fertilization. Then fertilization. In flower, you will read double fertilization term, but it is not occur in the male female in case of human animals. And the last is post fertilization. First is pre-fertilization. What happened in pre-fertilization? In pre-fertilization, we see two steps. First is gametogenesis. In gametogenesis, there is a formation of gametes. Gametes, which is the base for a new generation. In gametogenesis, there is a formation of male gamete through the process of microsporogenesis. Microword. The microword is for male gametes. Formation of male gametes, because the pollen grains are very small in structure and very large in number. The formation of female gamete is known as megasporogenesis. Megaword is for egg. The egg is big in size as compared to the male gametes. After the formation of gamete, there is a need to transfer the gametes. So, to transfer the gametes, the term pollination is used. The transfer of male gamete to female gamete is known as pollination, and this pollination takes place by different agents. Pollination are of two types: self-pollination and other is cross-pollination. When a bisexual flower which have both male and female part, in that case self-pollination occur. But in a unisexual flower where male and female parts are different and present in different flower, the cross-pollination occur. These pollination take place with the help of different agents, and these agents are air, water, insects, animals and snails. They play important role in pollination. After pollination, there is a double fertilization. First of all, the one gamete is fused with female gamete. See, this portion is present in the ovary. There are 3 cells known as antipodal, 2 cells are known as polar nuclei, and 3 are egg and synergids. One male gamete came and fused with egg and form zygote, which is known as fertilization, and other male gamete come and fuse with polar nuclei and form food supplement like endosperm for the cell, which is the important. It's the basic diagram. Male reproductive part in a flower is known as stamen. Stamen contain anther at the top and filament for support. When we cut a anther, it looked like a tetrahedral structure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 regions are present in there, and the pollen grains are formed inside it. Stamen consists anther and filament. Anther is a bilobed structure and filament is a tube-like structure. So today we have to draw and learn the parts of this flowering plant, which is most important to learn the sexual reproduction, and remember the division which belongs to the flowering plant, the structure of